how to have a sponge filter in your aquarium with fish that actually like to eat at it. So sponge filters seem to be the go-to filter for cheap and effective filtration. But let's go ahead and figure out what we can do to protect the fish and the filter from each other. All right, so check that out. See that sponge filter back there? You see them black voids? That's where the fish pick at it. Let me see if I get, you see, like, if you look in between the branches where it's not straight down, they've eaten at it. Okay, so let me interrupt you guys for just un momentito. If you guys could just slide your little thumb up 4 inches or so and hit that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified as soon as I put a video out. And very, very important, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm and the success of my channel. I thank you in advance. So I need to figure out how can I have a sponge filter and not have it ruined. I don't even, you know what, to be honest with you, I have never heard of a fish that actually died from ingesting sponge filters, but I gotta imagine it's happened before. I mean, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to build a cage for the sponge filter. Not only am I gonna build a cage for it, I'm gonna do something really special. You're gonna see at the end of the video what it's gonna look like. All right, full disclosure, I've never done this before. It was a thought in my head that I had, and I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and film it so that if it does work, I don't have to redo it for the film, and if it doesn't work, you guys just have a good laugh at my expense. But here's the sponge right here. As you can see, it's got chunks taken out of it and whatnot, you know, and that's from the fish biting at it. Now, here's the thing, you know, like I said, I've never seen a fish die from that, but I have seen pet stores where it had, that's been around for a long time, that the fish over years have picked at it. You have to buy another one. So I'm going to just pretty much do this to save from having to buy another one. I'm going to be using this stuff right here. This stuff was given to me. I know you can get it at your like hobby shops. It's for like, you know them old biddies? I don't mean to say old biddies, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That they do the thing with the big yarn and they make a picture that says, you know, God bless this home and stuff like that. That's what this is. I know it's not expensive, but this is what we're going to be using to build the cage out of. And I don't know if you can see this, but in this pencil I have a fishing string. The reason why I'm using fishing string is because I don't feel like waiting to glue it and wait it for, which you can do, but I don't want to wait, you know what I mean? And I want to use something that's going to last forever and it's really strong to so if I'm messing with it all the time, it doesn't undo, because it is very, you know, wobbly. And I don't know if you've noticed, but if you put glue or silicone on stuff that moves a lot, it has a tendency to come apart. So I figured the fishing string would stay there for as long as this does. So I'm gonna save you guys the trouble of watching me do this little. So basically I'm gonna show you at each step. You know, you might be listening to me talk about a couple of things that's on my mind and just, you know, shooting the ish with you, just chopping it up. But let's see how this thing turns out. I'm hoping it turns out, I'm pretty sure it's gonna turn out good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of measure it out, right? I double up my sponge filters. Now each one of these sections actually is like for like a 60, 75 gallon or something like that. So I have more than enough media to handle this tank, but I like it like that. I like a lot of filtration. It don't cost you any extra electricity to run it, right? So why not? And I'm gonna wrap this around here to kind of judge how much I need and where I need to cut off. Oh, I could actually do it like this and save me. So I'm gonna do it like that, right? And save me some time. I'm gonna have to use extra because I have a gap, but this is gonna work out nicely. All right, so my idea of using fishing string to kind of bob and weave it and sew it through there, it sucks. Good idea. I could barely see this string, and my fingers are not all that, you know, I can't really, it's on there nice and strong, you know, and if I went around, you know, it would look, but it's just, it sucks. I don't want to do this, but I have to. So I'm gonna have to figure out something new. I might have the solution. Might. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna be honest with you, this sucks. I think if I were to do this again, I would. This is how I ended up doing this. Basically, I took the fishing string and I put it through a pin and I had to bob it and weave it through all of those little holes. But the outcome is really satisfactory. Let me show you. So that's what we're looking at right there. I made it larger. You know what I'm saying? I made it larger than the actual sponge because the sponge is gonna swell up when it gets in there. And plus, when I want to take it off, I want to be able to slip it on and off real easy. So I made it larger. Now I got to make the top. And basically all I have to do to make the top is the cap that I use for this. Take my Sharpie and do that. Cut a hole in the center so that I can fit this through. I'm going to go ahead and make that for you. I got some ideas on how to do this a little bit easier. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sew this again. I'm not going to do this again. I am going to make more of these for my other tanks. But I'm not going to use the method that I use of trying to sew it with fishing string. I got some other ideas that probably would work just as good, but let me go ahead and make that top. All right, so I used the top of that container and I put it over to make the circle with a Sharpie, right? And like I said, the container is slightly larger than the top of it, slightly, very slightly, so it'll be able to slip on and off real easy. Then I use the actual tube that came off of here to draw circles in the I found the center, draw a circle. I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to the top. I actually made 2 of them because I want the top to be nice and strong. I'm gonna show you why later on. So this is basically what you're looking at. All right, so look at what we got here. It looks like a paper towel roll. But it's nice and sturdy. The fishing string made it nice and strong. Let's see how it looks. By the way, this is basically how it's going to go on like that. And the top still comes out. So now the cichlids can't bite at it, right? But it's ugly. You know, who wants this in their tank? So now I got to pretty it up. That whole fishing string thing took forever. So I decided I was going to attach some old silk plants to it. And this is what I got. I'm really not that happy with it, to be honest with you. Look, hey, in the comments below, let me know what you would have decorated this with. I'm real happy with the actual function of it. Like, it's sturdy, it's strong, but I'm not happy with the leaf thing. And I got some ideas for how else, because it's only silicone, I could pull these off. And I got some other thing. What would you do and how would you do it? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below. Give me some ideas for this. But for right now, I am going to put this in the tank. Maybe it look better in the tank. Let's find out. It actually don't look that bad. It definitely hides the sponge filter. It's definitely protecting it. And when you look at it, you don't see a sponge filter. You see just greenery. Not quite what I was looking for. Like I said, in the description below, tell me how you would do it. I mean, what would you put? I think I'm happy with it as of right now, but my wheels are going to be turning trying to figure out something else that's not going to be too difficult. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably use epoxy to attach everything. For instance, maybe get some zip, because the reason why I didn't want to use zip ties is I didn't want to have the sharp edges on the inside ripping up the sponge filter. You know, as you slide it in and slide it out, I didn't want it to get those sharp edges, and I didn't want the sharp edges of when you cut it off to be on the outside. But I didn't use zip ties for that. But what I could do next time is use the zip ties as a temporary, to temporarily hold it while I use an epoxy. And the reason why I say epoxy is because this thing it is flimsy. So if you were to use like hot glue or silicone to connect it, every time it moved, it would weaken that bond. So yeah, definitely epoxy next time. And as for decorating it, to be honest with you, that's all up to you. You know what I mean? Just make sure you don't decorate it in such. I probably paint it black also. That way, whatever I did use, the white wouldn't show out. It's not that bad because I got white gravel also. But in other tanks, I would probably have painted it with that Aquarium safe spray paint. I would probably paint it black. I don't know if you can get the black mesh or green mesh or brown mesh, but I definitely wouldn't have white epoxied. And yeah, I don't think I would do anything. I mean, I like the construction of it. I'm gonna do more of them, but as far as decorating, you know, I can build stuff. I'm not really I mean, obviously I ain't no aquascape.